Yay! Joyful growth on Substack. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are new to this space, if you're a new subscriber, if you've not met me before, hi, I'm Claire Venus. I'm an engagement consultant and mentor, and I brought a festival mindset to Substack a fair few years ago now, 2022, and have been joyfully building, growing, connecting on Substack ever since. So there's nothing that I don't know about the platform. There is a lot that I have seen recently that has been really, really difficult to see, just in terms of the way notes has shifted and changed. And I really wanted to bring everybody this challenge to remind you that your publication is its own beautiful little garden, a little terrarium that you can keep safe and you can nurture your audience and connect to your subscribers and readers. You can build a sustainable income stream. It's all beautiful. If we get stuck in comparison-itis or if we get stuck in imposter syndrome, joyful growth cannot live in those places. We've got to flip it on its head, come back to center, focus on what we're doing within our Substack ecosystem. So it's just about separating yourself out from the noise of what's going on notes. We will spend a day utilizing notes in the challenge. But we're not going to be focused on notes in this challenge. It's about everything else that we can do on Substack to grow joyfully and to really connect to our ideal reader, what we're here to do, and what Substack gives us in terms of tools. So there will be some actions that you can take on the day. So I'm going to give you one small action per day to take away. There'll be some mindset lessons. There'll be some tutorials, different things. So I'll give you a bit of a taster of one of them. And I think this is such a cool part of Substack. I can't wait to show you this. You might already know it's there, but if you don't, I think you'll be really impressed at what you can learn from having a look at this. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and go over to Sparkle on Substack, my main publication, and then take you into another publication. So I'll move my little video over. And I'm going to take you into Creatively Conscious, which is my longest running Substack publication. I write weekly here at the moment. I'm sharing my desktop because I have absolutely no shame in these grey numbers. Like, I'm very strategic about when I'm building on paid subscribers, when I'm building on free subscribers, when I'm building on views. So, I can only be in one place at one time. So yeah, no shame. That is what my dashboard looks like currently at this moment. Last month it was all green. That's what goes on with Substack. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click into stats. So you might have seen that here on the homepage, you can have a little look at what's going on per post. So this was a guest post I did at the weekend. It's telling me that I got one free subscriber. And then as I scroll down, this is typical for me. The numbers are relatively low, ones and twos. These ones are emails, so that's something different entirely. But you can see, what is driving the bigger growth in a bit of a snapshot with a sort of a month-long overview per month here. But if you go into email in stats, which is really a bonkers name for it, but we are where we are. You can toggle from the lowest to the highest here. So when you go here, I could see, okay, like which post got delivered to the highest amount of people. So Substack has a bit of an issue with deliverability now and again. So it's telling me that the last time I did a special offer that got delivered to the most people and had a high open rate as well. I wonder if that is the highest open rate. No, it's not giving me that 50% one now. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So we're going across here and we're going to have a look at free subscriptions. So this is telling me the highest number of free subscriptions were driven by a post that I called Substack Love. And then the second number of biggest free subscriptions were driven by a post I called Is Substack a Side Hustle? Substack. Slightly egocentric, the Substack algorithm, in that it likes you to mention Substack. So I think it's changed a bit now, but at the time that made sense. And then I've got this beautiful community project that I did that also drove 37 new subscribers. So this publication, like I said, it drip feeds. So there's around about 100 new readers every month. And that is based from me doing my best work, showing up weekly, which I like to do, or 3 times a month. And then the shares that go on, the recommendations network, all that other stuff that we'll get into in the challenge. But this one here is giving me a bit of an insight. Okay, well, what were these about? So this post here and this post here were community asks. So They were about profiling and inviting the community to take part in something. And they were big writing projects with lots of different spiders webs all across Substack. So I'm not surprised that they drove a lot of subscriptions to this publication. One of the things that I love to do as a community builder is invite other people into my space, whether that's through guest posts or whether that's through let's do a community challenge. And so this one was for International Women's Day last year, and it was a really beautiful thing to be part of. You can see the comments are really high there. So when I'm looking at my schedule for what I want to do in my Substack publication, I always come here first and just have a little bit of a look at what has been popular with my audience, because there's definitely a cross section between what's popular with my audience, what I love to do, and what I love to write, because I'm a creative producer, so it's not always about writing for me. So those two remind me that, yeah, I do love a community challenge. It takes a lot of energy. It's a big thing to do. So I would look at my year ahead and think, okay, like when can I do another community challenge and what might that look like? So that's one example. Then I'm just trying to have a look. So this one here, this was a personal essay that I wrote that I was really, really honest and vulnerable with in my writing, and it took me about a month to craft this essay. So usually I can write my pieces the same week, but with this one, I wanted to give it more time. And so what I take from that is actually like I can do that. I've got time to do that. If there's something that I want to write that is precious to me and feels more vulnerable, I can give it time. I could say to myself, you don't have to write weekly, but at the moment I'm in that publishing schedule and I like it. But I could easily say to myself, I could probably test the water and just write monthly on this publication. So there's loads of stuff in there. I'm just going to see if I can go along and show you the paid subscriptions as well. So in 2024, I started writing about the year that I made $100,000 in a year. It was kind of a shock to me, to be honest. So because I was trying to process the shock of earning $100,000, in 2024, I wanted to try and write about it in a way that was helpful to people who were all also aspiring towards whether that was possible or not for them. I think part of where I was surprised is that I hadn't expected to be there, So when I kind of got to October last year and I realized on my spreadsheet that I was beyond that, um, it just felt absolutely monumental, and I sort of didn't know what to do with it. I think in your mind, you feel like, oh, if I have $100,000 year or £100,000 year, it's going to massively change my life, and it hasn't. And it's been quite scary to handle a bigger amount of money and then kind of change my company and like work out all the things behind the scenes. So that has turned into a series because this post was so popular. I wasn't really sure if people would be interested in that or if people would understand why I wanted to talk about it, because it feels sort of off-brand. It's not that I'm capitalist, it's more that I want to show people that you can live a wholehearted life and still your business could take off, So if you're doing all of the right things, your business can take off, and then you have more of a kind of option to kind of pull it back and work with it. So that's what I'm doing this year. So that was really interesting to me. I think I'm 4 posts deep now. That has definitely been the most popular one. And then I'm working that into a book for 12 Chapters Club. So 12 Chapters Club, if you're not aware, is my year-long challenge in 2025 where we write one chapter of our books every single month. It's totally free to take part. And so you see now my creative producer brain fires off and it's like, okay, like I can hold myself in that. So for me, that is the joyful growth, right? Like you guys wanted more of this. I wanted to write more of it. I wanted to process it for selfish reasons as well, because it was massive and enormous. And then I also wanted something that I was excited about getting my teeth into to write a book in 2025. So I'm doing that with the community accountability that 12 Chapters Club enables and holds. I don't want this video to be too long because I could just talk on joyful growth for so long, but I just thought I'd give you that tip. to go into that section of your Substack and see what is really resonating with your audience. Obviously, check because sometimes there are some quirky things with deliverability. But once you've checked deliverability, see how many free subscriptions it drove, see how many paid subscriptions it drove, if that's one of your metrics, and then lean into what was going on for you. So I articulated quite openly and honestly what was going on for me and how I kind of did that dance with my own scheduling to grow joyfully personally, but also to give something to my subscribers that I knew that they'd be excited about. So I don't know how long that series is going to be. Like I said, I'm up to the fourth part. It'll probably be six, maybe seven, and I think that's probably enough. I've lots to say, and then the rest of it will be in a book, and the book will have a different sort of identity. So as I'm processing it through my writing, I'm really working out what it is that I want to say and why. Whereas on the Substack essay, because there's only so much we can write there. There's only so much processing goes on, and there's a lot more to do behind the scenes. So it feels really joyful to be in that space. It feels really exciting to be able to give a topic like that some freedom, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So if you would like to join us for the Joyful Growth Challenge starting next week, here is what you do. I'll take you back over here and show you. We'll have a lovely little Substack. There are 243 of you already, which I just love. So I decided I was just going to go for it on Monday, and I put this post out. So all you've got to do is subscribe to this publication. You'll find a little intro to the project just there. You'll be able to find another couple of posts and maybe one or two more by the time this video posts. But the idea is that you just show up next Wednesday. There'll be a little mindset lesson, an action to take forward, and all of those will impact over the 7 days so that you've got more of a creative practice and a relationship with your Substack so that you're not second guessing yourself, so that you're not overthinking it, so that you can just come to your Substack aligned and excited to create, to grow joyfully, to implement some of the things that you might have learned from publishing last year, to have a look, a refocus on your goals and work forward that way as well. So yeah, I really hope to see you inside. I'd be absolutely delighted if you want to come and hang out with us. It's going to be really beautiful, and I'm sure you'll make some lovely connections as well.